Welcome everyone to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today because we are going to demystify something absolutely critical to the modern world. We constantly hear these buzzwords about how technology drives business strategy, right? But what does that actually mean under the hood? Well, today we're taking a scalpel to the modern enterprise to examine its very anatomy. We're going to look at exactly how technology, people, and processes fuse together to keep a business not just running, but actually thriving. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with data versus actionable information, define what an MIS is, and then break down its three core dimensions. Finally, we'll look at organization, technology integration, and how this all leads to strategic survival. Section 1. Data versus actionable information. Okay, let's dive into this. Data, by itself, is just raw, unorganized facts. Imagine a massive, chaotic spreadsheet containing thousands of individual student test scores. It's totally overwhelming, right? On its own, it doesn't directly help you make a single decision. But information is that exact same data after it's been processed, structured, and given some context. If you calculate those individual scores into a simple class average, suddenly it tells a story. The entire purpose of an information system is to convert that raw chaos into clear, actionable insight.
Section 2. What is an MIS?
So, a management information system, or MIS, is really an entire ecosystem of people, machines, procedures, and databases. And I want you to notice what comes first there. People. An MIS isn't just some piece of software you install and forget about. It's a living system that gathers and processes data, specifically so managers can make accurate, timely decisions.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly who relies on this system across the entire company. Because as we know, organizations aren't flat, they're hierarchical.
Let's walk through these steps. A truly effective MIS is designed to serve every single layer of the corporate pyramid, but in entirely different ways. Down at the base, we have operational management. These are your production workers and data workers. The MIS helps them with transaction processing, basically handling the day-to-day operations and answering immediate queries. Move up a level to middle management, your scientists and knowledge workers. They use the MIS for short-term planning, setting targets and controlling business functions. Finally, right at the top, you have senior management. Now, they aren't looking at daily transactions at all. They are using the MIS for high-level goal setting, strategic planning, and really steering the overall vision of the company. But here is a crucial reality check. There is a deep, unbreakable interdependence between the business firm and the information system. If you pivot your business strategy, you inevitably have to overhaul your hardware and software to match. The fascinating rule here is that what an organization wants to do is completely limited by what its systems can actually execute. You just can't separate the two. Section 3. The three core dimensions. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it busts a huge myth. It's a really common misconception that IT is just about computers. To have a functioning information system, you actually need equal parts organization, management, and technology. Think of it like a three-legged stool. If you just buy multi-million-dollar servers but you have a toxic corporate culture and terrible management, your system is still going to fail. Let's break down each of these three essential pillars. Section 4. Organization and management dimensions. The organizational dimension dictates that systems absolutely must be deeply embedded within a company's structure. It mirrors actual human interaction and business processes. Think of a multinational giant like Unilever. They use systems to flawlessly coordinate global supply chains and marketing across tons of different time zones. But that technology only works if the corporate culture actually encourages knowledge sharing, collaboration in the first place. Next up is the management dimension. Managers are the ones who actually rely on the system for leadership, planning, and decision-making. The system gives them the insights to set goals and respond to challenges. A great real-world example here is Brack Bank. Their executives use IS dashboards to track customer transactions in real time, instantly detect fraud, and intelligently plan new services. Management uses the system to turn that raw data into strategic and sometimes incredibly urgent action. Section 5. Technology and complete integration. The technology dimension is your foundation, the hardware, the software, the databases, and the networks. This is what provides the sheer scale required for modern business. Take Amazon, for example. Their incredibly accurate, real-time, personalized recommendation system, it depends entirely on massive databases and advanced analytics software running globally. Or look at Bkosh, which relies on mobile platforms and cloud infrastructure to securely process millions of financial transactions every single day. The technology dimension is literally what makes that kind of scaling possible.
Let's move on and see how this all builds together. The ride-sharing platform Pathao is a perfect case study of all three dimensions working as one integrated unit. Organizationally, their system coordinates really complex logistics and drivers. Managerially, leadership uses it to plan operations and make strategic routing decisions. And technologically, it completely relies on modal apps and GPS networks. Pull a single dimension out of this triad and the entire company collapses. It's like a giant puzzle where every piece has to fit perfectly.
Section 6, Strategic Objectives and Survival.
Firms invest heavily in these systems to achieve 6 strategic objectives. Let's rapid fire through them. First, operational excellence, like Walmart's Retail Link system connecting suppliers directly to stores for insane efficiency. Second, new products and business models. Think of our IT-enabled Apple's ecosystem or Netflix's streaming model. Third, customer and supplier intimacy. JCPenney uses systems to link sales records directly to their contract manufacturers. Fourth, improved decision-making. Verizon uses real-time web dashboards to track network outages so managers don't have to guess. Fifth, competitive advantage, like UPS delivering totally superior performance. And finally, number 6, survival. Sometimes you build a system literally just to stay alive, like when Citibank introduced ATMs, forcing the entire industry to adapt, or when a company must implement new systems simply to comply with government regulations.
And that brings us to our final thought. I want you to look at that 6th objective again, survival. Understanding data versus information, recognizing the management hierarchy, and perfectly balancing the organizational, managerial, and technological dimensions, well, none of this is just an academic exercise. It is the lifeblood of a modern enterprise. So I leave you with this question to ask about your own systems. If your business isn't seamlessly integrating all 3 dimensions of an MIS, are you actually set up to survive the next major industry shift? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking great questions, and I'll catch you next time.